Hello and welcome back to Down the Track. In this episode, we'll be previewing the Sunrisers Hyderabad versus KKR, Kolkata Knight Riders, which will be the third match taking place in the IPL. It's a match between two foreign captains, two left-handed foreign captains, explosive batsmen, and there's a lot of similarities in these two teams. Both have some excellent foreign players. Sunrisers have the likes of Bairstow, Kane Williamson, Rashid Khan, David Warner himself, whereas KKR have Andre Russell, Sunil Narayan, they have Owen Morgan. So a lot of power pack players here. And then another similarity in both teams, they both back Indian youngsters. There's the likes of Shivam Mavi and Nagar Koti and Shubman Gill in KKR, whereas Sunrisers have Abdul Samad, they have Abhishek Sharma, and they have Priyam Garg as well. So both teams have similar kind of players, but different philosophies. I think Sunrisers go hard at the top with the bat. They rely on their top order, whereas KKR rely on their middle order and the likes of Russell Morgan. So that's where I think the differences between these two sides. In terms of bowling, KKR is slightly inexperienced in terms of their fast bowling, but they have one of the best bowlers in the world in Pat Cummins. So if he can, consistently pick up wickets and get the support of the likes of Nagar Koti and Shivam Mavi, it'll really help KKR. And I think Varun Chakravarti and Narayan, these guys will be key with the spin, because if they can get the likes of Warner and Bairstow out with the spin bowling, then I think they can get into that middle order of Sunrisers and really put them under pressure. Where Sunrisers, on the other hand, they'll be really relieved to have Bhuvneshwar Kumar back, and he's in really good form now. I think the way he played against India will give them for India against England will give them a lot of confidence. He can bowl with the new ball, with the older ball. He has so many variations. He can swing it in, swing it out, and he's just a brilliant bowler. If they have him in top form, I think that'll give them a lot of confidence. With him, Natarajan, I think he was the find of the season last year for Sunrisers. So their death bowling will be key. And Rashid Khan in 4 overs. Whether KKR go look to attack him or they play him out, that will be something we'll have to see. If they do play him out, then they'll have to attack Bhuvi. So that's where Sunrisers are a bit more, balanced in their bowling, because they have two world-class bowlers, and then they have Natarajan for support. Will Siddharth Cole play? Who is going to be their spinner? I think Sunrisers, their second spinner is kind of an issue, but they do have options. They have Abhishek Sharma, who can bat a bit and bowl left-arm spin. They have Kedar Jadhav. If he's in the team, then he can bowl those below the sea level deliveries. But yeah, I think that's one concern for Sunrisers. And then the middle order, everyone says it's weak, and it is inexperienced, but they do have some talented players. I think what is important for them is Manish Pandey and Vijay Shankar to click. They haven't clicked so far properly, and if these two start clicking, then this team will look much better. There is weaknesses in the middle order because these two haven't put up performances. If Manish Pandey has a stellar season, 600 runs, 700 runs, then it'll do his team a world of good, and it'll give the Warner and whoever bats with them, either Saha or Bairstow up top, the license to go for it. I think either way they'll go for it. That's Sunrisers' philosophy. Whereas KKR, their middle order, will go for it a bit more. I think Shubman Gill's strike rate is something that KKR will need to look at. If he can play at a quicker rate than last season, that will do them a world of good. But yeah, and it's also Trevor Bayliss versus Owen Morgan. Bayliss, now the coach of Sunrisers Hyderabad, he was with Morgan during that famous 2019 World Cup, and he was with Morgan. He transformed England's one-day side, and now they're pitted against each other. So it'll be interesting to see how they tactically outsmart each other. Whereas Morgan is reunited with his really good buddy McCullum, and they'll also strategize. I think David Warner as well, exceptional captain. He hasn't captained Australia consistently, but I think in the IPL, he's won a trophy as captain, and he has the likes of Kane Williamson to support him as well. If he's fielding on the boundary, Williamson can take care of the inner circle. But either way, he's the way he's backed his youngsters, the likes of Natarajan, the likes of Priyam Garg, Abhishek Sharma of the Samad, sensational. And that's what the IPL is about. And he relies on, he knows that he has the foreign players, he has the powerful players, but he knows that the Indian players are important as well. He gives them big roles. Even if they're inexperienced last season, he threw them in, and they performed for him, and they went to the playoffs, and that kind of confidence should help them going into this season. For KKR, I think for KKR, the most important player to watch out for is Andre Russell. If he can get going with the bat and ball, it'll make a huge difference, because he can win you games out of nowhere. 80 runs required of 30 balls, he can come and just smash sixes. His form will be important. Even Owen Morgan, how these guys play in the order. I think Russell should bat at 6. Last 5-6 overs where he's extremely dangerous, whereas Morgan, I think, can build in innings. Dinesh Karthik might be sandwiched in between them. His role will also be important, but I think Andre Russell is the key guy, bat and ball. If he has the confidence, all the other players around him will support and they will do better. For Sunrisers Hyderabad, there's a lot of players, but I think Rashid Khan is one important player and Bhuvneshwar. I think Bhuvneshwar Kumar at the death will be extremely important. And apart from that, it's their top order, whether it's Warner and Bairstow or Kane Williamson. If he plays, I think he will play. He had a really good season last year, so these guys will be important. If I have to pick one, I'll go with Bhuvneshwar, just because I think death overs will be very important for Sunrisers, and they do have a good bowling lineup, but they have to ensure that they stop the likes of Russell, Morgan, and Dinesh Karthik. I think that's the key battle: middle order versus Bhuvneshwar and Rashid Khan. And if you flip it, Chakravarti and Narayan versus Sunrisers top order. That will be the key battle for this game, and I think that's where the game will probably be won or lost. But yeah, I think it's going to be a very close game, 50-50. Both sides have a lot of similarities. They have differences as well. I'm really looking forward to the game. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for joining me today. And yeah, catch you tomorrow for the next preview. Take care.